Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Canyon. Welcome back to a continuation of a theme. Sort of, I guess. I mean, yeah, follow along. It came from the workbench, Vol.21. That much I can remember. Can I remember what episode it is? No. I think it's 4. But because I think it's 4, it's probably 5. So we tested the tracks. We did the thing with the tracks. The tracks made their way. The tracks are already in Michigan. I'm assuming it hasn't snowed yet over there. I don't know. I don't know how snow works. So I went and I started doing. I pinned the body and I shouldn't have, but I started doing the work on 21. Got these reinstalled. Also, Michigan it comes up here again. The same gentleman had sent me these way too long for other operations desert lizards. I just freshly rebuilt them and set them up in droop configuration, full droop, and if anything, they might be set up a little too full droop, because this thing, when it sits, it is slamorama. We can do it without wheels. We've dropped, we put lowering springs on our Flonco. It is sitting right down. Why is it not painted? Because, and I'll tell you, I had every intention. I found this on accident while looking for something else like 2 hours ago. Like, I just found this. So I have the mask. I also found the masks for Steve and Toothless. Funny that they were all right next to each other. Isn't that funny? Almost like I had put them away and then completely forgot where they were. Took the Stealth X apart. Had forgotten that I remembered that I would have to redo the whole gearbox. And I did. Because, for those unaware, you see those two little metal strips there. This is motor forward. Not just motor forward, but not just motor plate forward, but motor forward. We can just do it this way. So yeah, there's the motor up there. So you have to change your top shaft, and then you have to change all the gears inside. And as I was changing all the gears inside to put underdrive back into the gearbox, as we're not running tracks anymore, I went ahead and answered the question, can you put the 2555, can you put the 18% underdrive from the XF in an X? Yes. How does it fit? I would say the most accurate and descriptive word for that would be barely. It just fits. The clearance around the teeth on that 55 is less than a millimeter. I would say 0.3 millimeters all the way around. It's 2 sheets of paper around. Yeah, okay, we'll go as far as like 2 sheets of typing paper wrapped around the outside. That's about how much room there was. And at some point, as oft happens with stealth gearboxes, the wrong one had been installed, and it made just a little bump on the inside of the plastic. I think everybody who's on the Stealth X has inadvertently stuck a screw into a gear at some point. And this one had like a 12 where a 10 should have been, or a 14 where a 12 should have been, something like that. So just a little too long. Not long enough to punch through and hit the gears, but long enough to make a little blister on the inside of the plastic. And the gear rubbed on it with every revolution. So I just dremeled it down, and it's fine. But man, do I prefer the layout of the XF. That said, 18% underdrive shock set up in full droop, where the big heavy weights mounted in the front. We should be good. Now, as you know, it was sitting on these fossils on the wheels, which I still think are going to be the wheels. They look great with this body. The problem is, the whole time, there's some chunk of tree sap for you. The whole time, I had convinced myself that fossils are 4.65s. They are not. They are 4.75s, and they basically don't fit. Because if we just stick one on here, would you like Did anyone request some droop? Did anyone request 3 inches of droop? So they bottom out everywhere, particularly badly in the front. Like, the travel is severely limited by the tire. So we're still not ruling out fossils. I refuse to do it. But I have a trio. This is the continuation of the theme that I vaguely referred to earlier. We have a trio of tires that we're going to test. We're going to start with just still mounted, and would I prefer to put different inserts in them? Yes, but I want to look at just fitment. These are on, I want to say these are stock Canyon Trails, still with the Traxxas foam in them. Is there gray in there? Looking for a hole. I can't even find the vent holes. They've got vent. I feel it. Yeah, it's just got Traxxas foams in them. So this is, and these aren't even cut, because I'm not looking for pure performance here. What I'm looking for is fitment. I want fitment and clearance. So what we are going to do is we're going to start with the biggest option, which wildly, for the state of today, are these Canyon Trails. And then we're just going to get smaller from there. So we're starting with a 465, and we're going down, because I think this body is genuinely best suited to something 465 or below. And savor, if you will, the bit of irony there, in that J Concepts makes basically class 2s and class 1s, and that's it. They don't make a 465, 455 tire. So these are smaller than anything J Concepts you could put on here other than class 1 tires. Yeah, it might be okay, but it is definitely limiting articulation in the front. We should have a lot more than that. But maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. Rocks will be the teller here. Oh, yeah. I said a trio, right? Canyon Trails, completely stock S1s, which, for clearance purposes. Very recently featured Cross Black Rocks, which I did mock up. Like, I put them on the vehicle, and these look amazing. I don't know if they'll be the jam. I don't know if they need to be softened up. I don't know. And then finally, displaced from our buddy, if you were here recently for a weekly update, you saw that Blue Sky High is now auditioning tires again for the I don't know how manyth time. But he keeps changing. He keeps changing and changing and changing. So we're working to try to find the tire for him. And honestly, I don't think we've found it. So these are bean saws, 100 grams each. And as you see, the size just keeps, we can go here. The size keeps cascading down. So we're getting smaller and smaller. And I want to see, because I have long said and will continue to say into the future, that I think if you have a portal equipped rig, there's not really a lot of call to run a 475. I think most things are improved by going smaller. And this is a portal rig with quite a bit of clearance under it. And if we can get away with a 455 or a 435, is that what ripsaws are? Are they 435s? 4.3. So we're going to test 465, 455, and 4.3s. And these are beans. These are Canyon softs. And these are just... We have every available permutation of Canyon Trail. These are S1s. We've got regulars. We've got some really broken in RTR compound. We've got any number. I don't think that a 475 is going to be the key. So, also, we have these up here as well. Also in 465. And they're nice and narrow. I completely forgot to mention these. So, as I forgot, should I throw them in there? I'm going to throw them in there. Because these are skinny. These would be the skinniest Yeah, isn't that crazy? The Falcons are skinnier than ripsaws. So that is definitely another option. It's probably not the option I'm going to go with, but too many people, oh, don't get me started. Too many people have raved about the performance of the Falcon Wild Peak MT, and it's, I don't know, they're pretty good. They are a tire of a travel list tire. If you haven't traveled and you haven't seen other sites and you haven't seen other things, you might think, oh man, these are amazing. The list of tires that I have tried, including scale tires that are better than the Falcon Wild Peak MT, is fairly long, and I think most of the failing comes to the fact that there's this to the sidewall. Like, no matter what insert you put them in, the way these tires are constructed, there's like a little bagginess right here. That bagginess doesn't grab. So you get substandard sidewall performance, whereas like these will grab, these grab. All of these tires have strong sidewall performance, and these don't. But we're throwing a little bit of cosmetics in there because I do think that these look the part. These look really good. So we'll include them for that. We're going to run through apparently what has now turned into 4 sets of tires. We blew the whole trio idea. And we're going to see, because this is following the Canyon rules, which is make one change at a time, and by one change we mean everything. So I made a great number of changes. The ride height is lowered. It's really heavy in the front now. It's set up on droop suspension. It's got 18% rear underdrive. Might as well throw some more tires at it. And man, part of me wants to put the fossils in there too, and then just be like, it's 5. We love to test 5 tires. I can't promise you here, standing indoors, that if we make it outside, there won't be 5 sets of tires. I can't make that promise. So I should take you out into the sunniness of the outdoors, and we're just going to go through some tires, and we're going to, I'm going to evaluate this. How many ghost rides is that for this thing? It's supposed to only get 1, but I digress. Let's see what we do. We're not going to beat on it too hard. This is a necessary evil. You gotta find out what works. So, come with me, will you? This gentleman is not noisy. This gentleman is loud. I don't know if it's that there's no deadening on the body in the form of like paint, but like there's a resonance. Let's see if I can get into the... Driving out here, this thing is noisy. And there's a 3S pack in there because it's what I charged this morning. I charged up a couple packs. This rig really does need 4S. The gear reduction is significant. You can operate it on 3S, no problem, but I think this thing is really asking for 4S. Listen to that lug noise. Oh, that was as close as we would ordinarily get on a daily basis to a warm and fuzzy feeling. I had hoped. I know it's been a minute since the last episode that this guy ran and was, but it was lackluster. And then when Jester came out here, I was like, oh man, this is good. And I said, I genuinely hope that, look at that articulation. I said that I genuinely hope that it was the underdrive that was making that difference. And that would appear to be the case. Look at the turn in. Is he going to clip it? Just barely. Okay. We're in a position, everybody. Every change that I made, improvement. These tires are not super optimal because, we don't have cut lugs, we don't have good stuff on the inside. Oh my goodness, though. So a cut canyon trail, and if you've been following, I've got those canyon trails with like ultra soft 3D printed inserts in them. That might be the pajama jammy jam. Staircase. I just this very minute remembered that I went from a trio of tires to a bigger number than that. So I can't take 20 minutes on every set. This is doing amazing. This is unanticipated results all over. There it is. I think the rear bumper. There it is. The rear bumper was just like the corner of it was hung up. Like there's slip because those lugs aren't cut. But other than that, we don't want to pinstripe this thing up too bad. Ooh yeah. We'll let it live to fight another day. Yeah, I mean, Canyon Trail doing work and like no rub. This thing feels great. Oh, I'm so happy. And the lizards really do feel really good. Just so much lug noise because the lugs on here are just packed too tight. The front weight feels pretty well perfect. Who would have thunk that Canyon Trails like TRX4 axles? Getting a little too much collapse on that foam. It's a lot of weight transfer there, but there we go. Really manageable. That 18% underdrive is making a big difference. One more thing with these. I'm telling you, the open field harmonics on these is just, it howls. Yeah, that amount of it's quasi traction hop, but it's just that it's too tight on the lug. I'm trying to maneuver the rear end a little right. There it is. This was more to see about how the weight transfer would work. Try to get a little more grip there. That rear, if I can pull that rear right to there. There we go. Yeah, really maneuverable. I love a Canyon Trail, y'all know it. It would just, this rig is calling out for a worked Canyon Trail. And we don't have one of those ready right now. So we're gonna make do with what we do have ready. Grab the Wild Peaks because they are also 465s, and I came to a quick decision, a determination, which is this is process of elimination here. If I'm not impressed by how our tire is doing at any particular stop on this little mini 4-point we've got here, then I'm just gonna unmount that tire and we're gonna move on to the next one. These should have the opportunity to de-dust. They haven't been run in a good long minute. Yet another rig with some tremendous drive shaft squeak. I haven't seen anything to put these ahead of the Canyon Trail. Okay. They look all right. I think they look pretty good. And very, very similar in configuration. The turning circle is just not as good on these. I don't know why. Go for the shuttle across. Puts us in between that little spot there. Okay. Yeah, see? They act a little greasy. There's too much. All right. We can't go off of one. We'll let the Falcons try staircase, and if it looks okay, we'll move on. Give it a good entry here. Yeah. It's better than the Canyon Trail's got. But again, it's that something about the sidewall. Maybe I just haven't put in the insert that it wants. Like it needs an insert that's a little fatter to maybe balloon the tire out a little more. But see, right here, the Canyon Trail used its side lug to bite that rock on the driver front and pull over. We get up and then we fall back. I'm trying everything I can with those fronts. And it's just we fall back into the same spot. It's the opposite of positionability. And that's it for the Wild Peaks as far as I'm concerned. Black rocks. And this is not favoritism. It's not due to any feelings I might have for or against the Wild Peak. Same rules apply to the Black Rock. Oh, that was sucky. It had, and this would, although this would pain me more. The Vanquishes look fine. I think the Black Rock look amazing with this body. But I think they that fall back right there, I think they honestly need a significantly softer insert to be paired up with this rig. I can't tell if it's bellied up. How can that chirp have gotten so notably worse? Like, sounds like it's full of birds. It sounds like an old German tank. Yeah, this is not doing the do here. And the chirp is getting more pronounced with each passing second. Yet there's really only one line that it will get up Slick Rock. And if that's how we're doing on Slick Rock, we have to at least give it the same opportunity that the Wild Peak had. Because I will continue to contend. These look amazing. I mostly just wanted to get a side view. I'm not going to be able to test those other two tires. I'm going to have to make the walk back to the shop. I'm going to have to get dry slide because this is too much. Positionability on these is really good. It needs a much softer insert. It is wild to me that the tire that did the best, yeah. Canyon Soft is not soft enough. But let's just take a moment to appreciate the look of these tires on this body. They fit so good. It's killing me that this is as far as they're making it. It's killing me. I don't see enough traction out of them, and I don't think it's the tire. I think we just need a much softer insert. Oh, again, let's not bury the door panel. And the steering response, not quite what I would like it to be. So let's end it on that note. I feel like we're for sure gonna lose some. We're brake over here. What's the brake over here? I don't know, man. I don't know. That was pretty good. I still think I like the look. Oh, that bumper clearing on that reverse descent, that made me very happy. Over bean 2, not quite enough. Go for the shuttle. Yeah, this is, I don't know, 100-gram ripsaws. The bean saw might be the perfect application of the bean. You will give up some breakover. But I think it's a worthwhile trade. This is an exchange I am willing to make. See this pull inside. And again, like the scale of that tire, yes, is a tiny little bit small. I would honestly say. The 4.5, 4.5 is like perfect. But performance-wise, these have been the best, and like it's not even really close. These go there. There's that belly up, but can we sidle? Yeah, I had to work that line. I had to work that line to be where I wanted it to be. Yeah, these are nice. Bean saw nice. Going back in time a few days, this is why Blue Sky High lost his tires. Because I think we all kind of agreed, at least on some level, that these were a little short for him. And I decided all on my own that the fossils were too tall for this body. Like they occupied the whole wheel well and didn't really leave any room. $400 grams, man. I prepared for that roll. I can feel the spot I want to be in. And it's right there. Surprisingly, and one, at least I wouldn't think this would be the case, but this tire and air quotes, big air quotes, insert setup are the most receptive to the widest range of wheel speeds. Like, I wouldn't think the beans would do well at higher wheel speeds, but these put that right on its head. We're gonna try to multi-shuttle here, and I don't want to roll. I don't want to roll again. Again, positionability is. We lived. Positionability is the best. Is the best of everything that's gone against all assumptions and better judgment. If you can get one tire a little bit in to the line that you want, these will pull you through. So the bean rock is certainly not out of the question. It's just a matter of sidewall. Like, your sidewall stiffness has to be pretty much right on for beans. Unless you're doing foam insert inside, and I don't know how thin the foam filler would have to be in a 455, but pretty thin. This is just beans in here, which is why they tend to bean bag quite a bit on side hilling. Okay, that rear is squishy mush, but just stay in it. The side hill is cuckoo. It shouldn't work. Maybe it's just me, but let me see if I can position this in such a way as to showcase what I'm talking about. Got that bumper stuck in there pretty good. A little more turn to it. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty good. I feel like this thing looks more Bronco with this size tire on it. It looks less flex with these tires. To me, the bigger the tires look, the more on the Flonco gauge with Bronco at one end and flex at the other. The needle points more toward flex when this thing is on a 475. At a 455, it is full Flonco. With the 4.3, I think it's definitely more Bronco than flex. Okay, we all hear that, right? What is that? I should take a look at that. Sometimes, and it doesn't happen often, but sometimes it is the simplest thing. And this is an instance where, ladies and gentlemen, it was indeed the simplest thing. Here we go. The front upper link had popped off the ball, the hollow ball, but it's a big Traxxas hollow ball with the big flange, so it couldn't come off all the way. So when it popped off to the inside about 2 or 3 millimeters, and at full squish, it was making that upper link rub against the side of the motor. So that was the, because to me it sounded like Lexan. Flipped it over, took a look. There's a shiny stripe on the outside of the outrunner can now, and I was like, oh, I got this. We're seeing 90% of what I wanted to see. A little more throttle here. Can't quite. There it is. That was an exceptional application of a bump because we were mid-cliff on that and it was settled. There's no lightness to the front end here. None. Trying to position that rear tire. I had to shuttle the rear tire last time. Let's walk it over and pull it around. It looks so low, but it rides so nice that I don't even want to futz with it. It's driving so good. Like, I'm afraid to unmount the wheels, to mount different wheels to it. So in between now and the next installment of this, which will probably be another bittersweet episode, will probably be the final installment of this. You will not see this again until it is painted. We may go through a couple more permutations of the wheel and tire. I would like to try the black rocks with the beans, rock beans, because at that a bit of additional height, I think it just looks that much sweeter. I don't dislike this at all. And with the beans, where are we going to pick for our descent line? There's some rough customers out here. How about right off here? This setup is so smooth. And then the beans just give that much more anchor. The clearance is good. We'll have to find out from the future owner hailing from across the pond. Let's ask him here in the closing minute. How do you feel? How do you feel about the rip saws? If he wants me to throw another set of tires into the box, no problem. That Bronco body's big, and Flonco body is big, and there's not a lot being taken in up under there that's by body. I can shove a whole bunch of stuff in there to keep the box size down. I think these are fantastic, and it will pain me to part with rip saws because I love them, and I'd gotten 2 sets in on trades, and 1 replaced the ripped set on iron sides, and this set might be going home to Belgium with the Flonco. So I don't know. We'll all find out together. Let's see if we can end this in the best possible way, which is making this assault here, which gets just outrageously steep right here in the middle. Listen to those beans. I need to use that little outcrop right there. The fine control of this setup is... Next, oh, did I slide too far? I don't want to hook that little outcrop. The Flonco is, oh yeah, I hooked it. This ability to reposition is really nice. The Flonco is getting weaponized. The rip saws, bean saws are pretty great on here. So the next time you see him, he'll be painted. I'll swap the rims around. We will see, because I'm going to try black rocks on beans. We'll see how that does. Oh, that side slide was so controllable. Oh. And here in the very closing, I could do this all day. I would like to... You're not going to go back and rewatch, right? So I can tell you now. Somewhere behind me, which is to the north, some sort of construction vehicle has a beeper that must beep whenever the vehicle is either on or moving, period, because it has been beeping with virtually no interruption for 45 straight minutes. I don't know how well the microphone will pick it up. I'll find out in the edit. I might sound like a crazy person talking about it, but it has been the beep, beep, beep. Normally, typically associated with a reversing vehicle for the entire time. That's going to end badly. Whew. We saved it. We saved it. Let's park it right. No, let's park it right. Let's park it right. Nope. Okay, there we go. Nice. Very nice. Please, I beg me, let this be the last ghost ride of the Flonco. This thing needs to be painted. So, do comment below, particularly if you could hear the beeping for all 45 minutes. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the Flonco or about anything else about the Canyon, be sure to put them in the comments below. Check out the Crawler Canyon Cafe Press for t-shirts. Now there's a truck much closer. I will see you all in the next one. Get to work on this, get to work on that. We got some junk views and other stuff coming up soon. Tune in for those. Thanks for joining us here in the Canyon. We loved having you. We look forward to seeing you in the next one. And in between now and when that next one might happen to be, we hope that you, one and all, do your very best. Have a good one, everybody. We will catch you next time. That's what a container truck, roll-off truck sounds like when it's dropping a container. I'll see you next time, everybody. Oh, here we go. There it is.